Hello, my name is Chris Chalkley, and I am a PLO 200 and 500 player, 6 max. I generally stick to 50 big blinds, although sometimes I do, depending on table dynamics, I'll go up to 100 or deeper. However, what I'm going to focus on is 50 big blind play, 6 max, PLO, and for this first video, we'll be focusing on the most common of spots, that is button opens and big blind defends, and we are using this piece of software called Vision. It's on runitOnce.com. It's $1.99 per month. It's well worth the money, and I have had a subscription to this in the past, although it's been quite a while since I have used this software, so I may be a little bit rusty on using all of the functions. But for the purpose of this video, it's going to be really straightforward, button versus big blind. As you can see, button has opened to 7, 7 being the blinds are assumed to be 1, 2 here. So this is a 3.5x open and a call, and of course there's a small blind dead money in the middle. So 15 is the pot. This will be what you would see at a standard 1-2 game, and we're looking at the situation where the all of the boards that we will get will be um, unpaired, single suited, and we're looking at either one of these actions here. So either nothing has happened, like in this case, and we have the option to lead or to check, or we'll be looking at checking and the preflop gusser, the button has bet, and then we'll be looking at making our decision whether to check raise or to call or to fold it on this one, or this one, check being the first action, and then we will be making the decision as the button what to do facing check. And same thing here, facing a donk from big blind, what do we do? All right, so let's just jump into it. And for this, it's a little confusing because the hand is right below the button, but this is asking, actually no, right here, so flop check. So we do have a check from the big blind, and then we are the button here in this case. What do we do? All right, gonna go through this fairly quickly with minimal analysis. So backdoor flush draw, no front door blocker. I don't think we're going to bet this. I want to see, so this is our overall range here. This is the entire range. This is not for this hand class. This is, we're betting 60-40 on this board. I still don't think we're betting this though, so I'm going to check. Yes, all right, we're not going to do too much analysis here. So when you click new hand here, it keeps the same board and gives you new hand. All right, Jack 9-3, top pair, nut flush draw blocker. I think this is good enough to bet, 50%, okay. Next. All right, flop check, open ender, top pair. I still think, knowing that we're betting 60% of the time, I mean, I think this has to make it in there. It does not. Surprisingly, it does not. And we can see that this hand class is actually flipped, where we're betting 40 and checking 60. So we're only betting those with flush draws. Okay. All right. I wonder if these are all going to be flop check. Maybe they are. We'll see. Anyways, ace, queen, 8-7, very weak gutter. I don't think we have enough. Yep, checking. All right. This one performs so poorly in the check line. I'm gonna bet fold it, and that is correct. I guess this is shaping up to see this is why I'm not so good with the software. I thought it was gonna give us a variety of actions, like we would be flipped back and forth between the aggressor and not, but it looks like we're just always going to be playing the buttons decision here. I feel like with the backdoor flush draw here, we have good enough to go ahead and bet no. Okay, so versions of this that bet all have a heart, where we do have a heart, but when we, okay, so I guess if we have only a single heart and we do have the backdoor flush draw, we're more inclined to see the turn card, so we're checking. Although we are still betting 40%, so not that bad. And you can tell how bad your decision was here by looking at where does this king 4 deuce, so this is regardless of suits, where does king 4 deuce overall frequency, so we're slightly leaning towards bet, but then with the presence of the backdoor flush draw and only one front door blocker, we're leaning towards check, but not by a lot, so not an egregious error. All right, this I feel like one heart I would bet. I think I'm gonna go ahead and check this one. Yeah, we need to have some more front door flush card action going on. And this is pretty simple. So when you see an output like this is very simple to implement in your game. Do I have a heart? No, check. And that's just for this category. But I think this is as, as clear of a takeaway as you ever get out of here. Absolutely no reason to bet. We're just kind of done with the hand here. We can't get crazy. Here, this is definitely, oh wow. Interesting. I thought that with the set and, okay, well, let's see. Let's see here. So, I'm wondering if this would, we obviously we don't have this hand too often. Um, Backdoor flush draw checks. I guess this is such a slow play. I don't really, I mean, it's 48-52, right? We can't really be splitting hairs too much. That's fine. Let's move on. It's when you see these like near 50-50 decisions, it doesn't matter really which way you go with it. All right. This one, I again, I think we just the deuce is so irrelevant. Wow. So see, we reach a certain point of having such a weak hand that we just try to bet, and I guess this is to the point where we check just does not do much for us at all. So maybe if like this 4 would be, I mean, certainly a 10, but um, yeah, let me get off that train of thought. Next hand. The check line, the EV of check is just not good, and that's why we bet. That's the bottom line. So here, same kind of thing. Is EV of check good? Not really. We do have a heart blocker. We do have a 10 blocker for future straight runouts. I mean, I guess since we know that we're betting 60-40 here, we can bet. All right. It feels a little spewy, a little light, but I mean, our range supports it. So, okay. Okay, Queen, Jack 8. This one definitely, I feel like this is just a bet, yeah. And kind of surprised to see that overpair plus top set blocker plus gutter is not higher than this. Wait a minute. Okay, situation. Okay, let me rephrase that. Yeah, this is what was so surprising to me because Queen Queen Jack 8 is a pure bet regardless of suits, and we can see that right here. Uh, again, this is me becoming more familiar with the software again. So this is our overall range, 48.52. This is what I expected to see. Pure bet. Pure bet. I mean, this is just a slam dunk bet. All right, moving on. Yeah, I mean, we want to put in money with the nuts, especially with a redraw. I don't think there's any reason to check back. And what are we slow playing here? 21% is not negligible. So we actually are slow playing this with the flush draw. Interesting. Okay. Here, check doesn't look very appealing. Lots of, I mean, 8 turning an 8 or a 5 is not appealing. I think we just bet folding this. Yeah. Try to go a little quicker here for the next 4 minutes of the video. I'm gonna keep it to 15 minutes. All right. Here, nice hand. Lots of potential with this hand. I think we absolutely want to bet this. Wow. So this one, we're going to look a little bit deeper into this. So we are checking. We are checking with both flush draws. In fact, we're checking with any front door flush draw. And that seems to be as far as we need to take the analysis. We are checking with any front door flush draw. I think what's going on here, there's no pair blocker. We don't have the nut flush draw. We do have a nut gutter. We do have a backdoor low flush draw and a backdoor flush draw. But even if we didn't have the backdoor flush draw, the getting check raised on the flop, and if we get check raised at 50 big blinds here, it's pretty much a shove. I mean, it's a committing check raise. So I think that playing against a balanced out of position player who will have, yeah, it just sucks to get check raised here. So I guess, yeah, it makes sense that this is the polar opposite of a couple of the hands we've gone over recently, where we were betting the flop because the EV of check is so low. The EV of check in this case is so high that we really do not want to generate folds on the flop. We absorb aggression on the turn. So yeah, let's play a turn and check. Okay, I think we get a good takeaway here. Ace Jack 7 4. So this is what I was talking about. EV of check is not so great. We have a relevant backdoor flush draw card. We just don't want to see this check through. So we're gonna bet. And apparently we're not gonna bet, but so many of these hands are betting. Apparently we need to have at least the blocker. And if we don't have the blocker, we need to have the backdoor flush draw of some sort. So that's the limiting factor that we need to look to learn here is when we have top set blocker, not much else going on, we can't just then say, okay, backdoor nut flush blocker is good enough to go for it. We need to have backdoor nut flush blocker. Actually, take that back. Backdoor nut flush blocker without any hearts is never betting. And so yeah, that's the bottom hand, that's this hand. So we need to, okay, if we have this hand class on this board, we need to have a heart. We need to have at least one heart, okay? So lesson learned there. Too loose of a in position bet by me. Okay, top set, not much else, but do we ever want to check this? I don't think so. We might be, this would probably be checked if we have like, if we had a flush draw with it, but we don't. So yeah, bet, and it is a pure bet. Okay, you can see it's pure bet. Couple more hands here. interesting one here. Wraps are significantly less powerful on flush draw boards, of course, and we have one of our own outs. We do not block a pair, but we're betting 60% of the time over here. I think we check. I think we just love to see a turn card so much. Good. Okay, we check 75% of the time. Very telling. Okay. When would we bet? So we bet when we can bet call with a flush draw. All right. Ace 8 6 5. I'm not going to end on this. This is an air ball. Let's end on an interesting one. This is somewhat interesting. I think this is interesting. So we have a high heart blocker, overpair, horrible playability, and yeah, I think we can bet this. It's pretty comfortable to bet fold. We don't have any backdoor potential. The only thing we could backdoor is like a queen to barrel off on, but I mean, we're not, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we just bet. And we do bet 60-40. So we're betting this hand because we do not have the flush draw, and but we can't just say that if we had the backdoor flush draw, we would also check. We do see that having the backdoor flush draw only is a check, having nothing is a check, having the heart blocker. So the king of hearts is pretty key here. So having one heart but not two is the key here. Regardless of the backdoor flush draw potential. Having one heart but not two, so that's the takeaway. We can go for the cbet. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll be back with another spot. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any comments. I will be glad to address them.